Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam amma ba'd. We'll continue with the ninth, and that is regarding how he should use the pathways. The author, Hafidhahullah, he says, At-Tasi'u, the ninth. He said, أعط الطريق حقه فغد بصرك وكف الأذى ورد السلام وأمر بالمعروف وانهى عن المنكر. He said, give the users of the pathways their right by lowering the gaze and by abstaining from harming the people if you sit by the pathways. Reply back to the greetings of salam and order the people with good and forbid the evil. Now the asl of all of this, it can be found specifically in the hadith of Abu Sa'id al-Khudri radiyallahu an, who reported that the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he said, beware of sitting on the roads. So the Sahaba, they replied saying, Ya Rasulullah, we have nowhere else to sit and talk. So the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he said, if you insist, then give the road or the path is right. And the Sahaba, they asked, what is the right of the roads? And the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he replied, he said, lowering your gaze, refrain from harming the people, respond to the greetings of salam, and to command the good, and to also forbid the evil. So again, what we see throughout all of these etiquettes which we have learned is that the author, he has outlined this entire book with only that which is inside the Quran and the Sunnah. And this is the way of the ulama and the scholars, is that they only outline their books with that which is in the Quran and Sunnah. Now some ulama, they have explained what it means for one to lower his gaze. And they said that lowering your gaze is not that you walk with your face down to the ground, but rather it is to refrain from staring at things. And this is what gaze means, to stare at something. Now lowering your gaze was mentioned by Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah. He said lowering one's gaze is from two types. He said the first is the lowering one's gaze from the aura of individuals. So this also links back to conduct 2, where we said that one, when he wishes to enter upon a room, or in a room, he should stand on the left or the right side of the door. And we said this was to protect the aura of the individuals who may be inside the house. And the second type, he said, is to refrain from looking at the sight of desire. So he should refrain from looking at the non-mahram females and the non-mahram males. And the scholars have also mentioned that lowering one's gaze can also be from lowering one's gaze from things which are of blessings. So if someone, he has a nice house or he has a nice car, then he should not gaze at that, because this can result in that person getting ayn, getting the evil eye. So lowering one's gaze is from that which is desired, whether it be a male or a female, or something that you may desire from the dunya. And lowering one's gaze is a protection for the Muslim, because the eyes and the ears, they're a gateway to the person's heart. So it affects one's memorization as well as his worship. And we see many people, they try and plan and they try to implement the Quran in their daily lives, and they find that they cannot recite even one page. And this is because that they may have sinned. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He has not given them the tawfiq to recite the Quran. And this is due to sin. So one, he should protect his eyes from that which he sees, and he should lower his gaze. Also for the students is that one, he should lower his gaze because this affects his memorization. As it was reported, Imam al-Shafi'i, he asked his teacher, he said that he had difficulty with memorizing. So his teacher, he gave him some advice, and he said to stop sin. So one, he should stop looking at that which he desires, because this has an effect on his heart, and then it will have an effect on his further goals, whether he wishes to memorize Quran or just read it. And the next mas'ala that the author, he brings is that one, he should enjoin the good and he should forbid the evil. And Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah, he said the deen is of two pillars. He said the first is that one, he should command the good, i.e. he should command the people to worship Allah upon at-tawheed. And he said the second is forbidding evil, and that is to warn against shirk. And this is the asl, that when he commands good, he should command good to that people should worship Allah alone. And when he forbids the evil, he should be forbidding that people, they make shirk with Allah. And many other things come under this. And it's a shame to see today that many people, they have become scared of enjoining good and forbidding evil, because the reply we get back is, brother, don't judge me. And this is not the case, because it is permissible to judge upon that which is apparent. So if someone, he is not praying his salah, it is allowed for one to say, brother, you should pray your salah. And then that person, he may reply that, oh, you do not know what's in our hearts. And this is not the case, because Iman is the speech of the tongue, it's the action of the limbs, and it's the belief in the heart. So he has to come with action as well if he believes. So one, he should command the good, and this is not judging. And the judging which is impermissible is that judging in the hereafter, whether the person is going to Jannah or Jahannam. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He praised this nation. Why? Because they commanded the good and they forbidded the evil. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, you are the best nation to come out of mankind. You enjoin what is right and you forbid what is evil, and you believe in Allah. Allah also subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, let there arise from you a nation inviting to good, enjoining that which is correct and forbidding what is evil, so that you may be successful. So here in this ayah we also see that Allah, He links success to commanding the good and forbidding the evil. And also the hadith on the authority of Abu Sa'id al-Khudri radiyallahu anhu, who said that the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, whoever from amongst you sees a munkar, an evil, then he should change it with his hand. And if you cannot do so, then change it with your tongue. And if you cannot do so, then hate it in your heart. And that is the weakest of faith. And we'll stop there and continue with the last and final etiquette tomorrow. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant, astaghfiruka wa atubu